Brantley Gilbert says if he sings it, he's lived it. At times that's a terrifying proposition, and those he loves most have lived it with him. For better or worse, what you see is what you get with Brantley Gilbert, and there's a whole lot of both. Growling country rock songs about love and love lost dot any singer-songwriter's catalog, but how many are honest about coldly leaving a girlfriend behind, addiction, arrests, and that time they rolled their truck off Old Highway 129? The 32-year-old native of Jefferson, Georgia, says each of his albums is a chapter of his life. He only sings the songs he wrote, and he only writes what he knows. Even on the just-released The Devil Don't Sleep album, Gilbert's most positive chapter, he doesn't exaggerate. He doesn't need to.
Even, with my wife coming back in the picture, which is an extremely positive thing, I also remember our story, and there were some dark times in that story. There were, heartbreaks in that story and breakups in that story. And for I feel like every success story that you had to overcome something, right? So, I mean, there is that other side there that you can always draw from.
Brantley and Amber married in 2015, months after rekindling a romance that was barely on the back burner for almost a decade. They dated, separated, and found that spark again after he split from fiancée Jana Kramer. The song Way Back on Gilbert's new album tells the story in almost uncomfortable detail. Outlaw in Me and You Promised, a song on the deluxe version of the album he says was the most difficult to write, are all about her as well. She's part of his present and future, but also an important part of his past.
Amber's always loved me, and she's never tried to change me, but she's always brought out the best in me and made me want to be a better person for her. And that started a long time ago. And we were off and on, and when our relationship was off, there were times when I ended it when I knew, when I didn't feel like I could be what she deserved. And I feel like sometimes that's been a cop-out in my life, but with her, that was the legitimate case. That was the sincere case. I felt like she deserved better, and I was incapable or unwilling at the time to...
You knew your limitations.
Right.
Even if you didn't admit it necessarily out loud. Did she give up on you?
I wouldn't say she gave up on me. She almost the exact words were, we both loved each other, and that was established. We told each other that, and we were talking about marriage, and I would have married her a long time ago, but I remember her telling me the last time it ended, you know what, I love you and I want to marry you, but it terrifies me to talk about and think about marrying somebody that rides around with bottles of liquor in the console of their truck. I didn't know she knew they were in there. But, that rang true. Yeah. I got it. It pissed me off.
Yeah.
And I blew up, and that was a big breakup, and I really shot downhill after that. But I wouldn't say she gave up on me. She was completely honest with me, and at that point I think both of us were like, we're going our separate ways.
This is the first of a 3-part video series that will focus not just on the positive chapter Gilbert is living, but the dark chapters he's pushed through to get here. In the next video, Gilbert talks candidly about his addiction, what it took to overcome it, and the whispers he still hears daily.
It's one of those things that I've noticed in my life. You hear your whole life that people say that the people that love you and care about you the most will stay with you through anything, and they'll be with you through anything. I found in my case that wasn't necessarily true.
The devil truly does not sleep for Brantley Gilbert.